like I was saying to you, when your beeper goes off with the fire brigade, you don't know what you're facing. Do you find that tough and hard? Or?
It's something you kind of get used to after a while. Like, at first, I've been now nearly 7 years, so it's something I just kind of have grown accustomed to now at this stage.
And you have a brilliant way. We all have, suppose, have to try and find some way of venting when we get off the job.
Yeah, yeah,
Myself, of course, it's the motorbike, but you do something a little more physical.
yeah. I do a bit of boxing there. I've been boxing for a long time now. It's close to 20 years now at this stage.
And
So I run the local club, and I've also this year I've started up the Irish firefighter boxing team, where I have firefighters from all over the country who come together to we're raising funds for Aoibheann's Pink Tai. That's the charity we're working with. It's the National Children's Cancer Charity. So that's we have it on the back of our gear. Fight like a child. That's their motto.
brilliant, yeah.
And so between the club and the firefighter team, I'm flat out.
Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
you. Yeah, and you're one of the main people in the club that got that club back up and running again. I think, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
the head
fair play
coach of
to
the
you.
club. Yeah, I had some help around town, and I've kind of been out on my own then for a while, and
Yeah.
I have other lads in now who actually came from Thurles Boxing Club, St. Ailbe's Boxing Club, which were clubs in Thurles, and St. Cronan's that used to be in Rossgrey. So it is a hard old gig keeping it open all the time. It's nearly more time consuming than the fire brigade is because I don't think people realise a lot of the time. Like, I have kids there 12, 13, 14 that are training for All Ireland Championships and are boxing for Ireland. And they're training 5 nights of the week. They're getting up and going running before they go to school. They're dieting. There's a lot in it.
It's still brilliant for
Even for
kids.
small kids,
It's
yeah.
still brilliant for them, in
Yeah,
fairness.
yeah,
And it keeps them out of trouble.
yeah.
And again, probably vents their anger as well and
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
use their energy in a positive way.
In a positive way, yeah.
And you fought out foreign a few times.
I only fought in Madison Square Garden 2 weeks ago. I fought in Boston before that. I fought all over the place. Yeah, I fought in America multiple times. England probably 30 or 40 times. Like, so I've been busy enough over the years. Yeah.
And your big fundraiser now you have coming up is for Aoibheann's Pink Tai, which you mentioned already. That's obviously a charity that's very close to your heart.
Yeah. So about 2 years ago, the NRFA, it's the National Retained Firefighter Association, and that got onto me, and he introduced me to Jimmy Norman. That's Aoibheann's dad, who started the charity. Uh, Probably about 20 years ago. I'm not 100%, but in around 20 years ago. Um, so basically, they provide practical support for families. So unfortunately, when a child gets a diagnosis, um, they have treatment and they have lots of stuff where they have to be up in Dublin, and a lot of times they don't. There's nothing there for families, so you'd have to put up in hotels yourself, or you'd have to travel 3 or 4 hours. Which, if your child's after going through treatment, it's not really ideal. So basically, they have a house up there. It's called Aoibheann's Lighthouse, and the families can stay there for free while the child is going through treatment. Obviously, there's a greater demand. It's getting more and more, so they're spending a lot of money every year on hotel rooms. And um, our long term goal, what it is meant to be, is we have the Americans coming over, we have the New York Police Department coming over, the New York Fire Department coming over, the Massachusetts State Police coming over, Lowell Police coming over, Manchester, New Hampshire Police coming over, and we have the Northeast Fire Service boxing team and the Northumberland Police boxing team all coming over to More in a few weeks. So basically, we're looking long term to try and secure more properties up in Dublin for Aoibheann's Pink Tai and fix them up. Now, it's a big undertaking. My wife was kind of looking at me there a few weeks ago, and I said to her, we're trying to raise 400,000 next year. I know what we're raising now is only small money, but um, the lights of I was in Madison Square Garden a few weeks ago, and they raised 250,000 for the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. So if we can get the Americans on board with us, it's very, very achievable, that kind of way. So
Brilliant.
yeah,
And it's a great charity. It almost to a certain extent reminds me of the hospice, but for children.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
something similar, isn't
That's
it?
it. Yeah,
And I know myself from our own young man Eddie was in Crumlin one time,
yeah,
and I said, when you go into Crumlin, you see real trouble.
yeah. That's it.
And I remember saying to Louise when we were coming out the door, we had our bags and we had our child.
Yeah,
Sometimes you saw parents going out the door
yeah,
and all they had was their bags.
yeah. I know.
That would break your heart,
It
wouldn't it?
would, yeah, 100%. Like, cancer is an awful thing, but with young children like that, there's no explanation for it. It's bad that anyone gets it, but small kids like that, like even last night now, Aoibheann's Pink Tai shared a candle. Every time they share a candle, that means another child has lost its battle, so
Right.
it is heartbreaking to see, yeah.
Because I always said your worst nightmare has to be you automatically assume that your children are going to bury you.
Yeah.
So your worst nightmare must be when you have to deal with a child either sick.
Yeah.
And I know from talking to parents, when something like that does happen, or talking to grandparents, all they want to do is swap places with the child.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
They
it.
prefer to go and let the child live, and
Yeah.
that has to be an absolute heartbreak.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're doing great work with this fundraising.
Yeah. So last year we raised close to 10,000, hoping to go further this year. I'm trying to put myself out there a lot more by doing stuff like this. I'm famous for my speeches. Anytime I have to do that, and it's literally 3 words, and I sit down again as quick as I can. But look, what they're all going through is nothing. So if I have to sit here and be awkward for 10 minutes on a chair, I'll do it. If I, I'm going to try and go on the newspapers, have an article put in, and I'm going to try and go on radio. It's just sell it as much as I can. I really like if people would support the charity and get behind us.
Brilliant. Really admire what you're doing. It's great work, and it's for a very admirable cause.
Yeah.
And you put in serious hours.
Yeah, serious hours of going into this, and
Fair play, Paddy.
I'm nearly gone blind from looking at my phone trying to put up posts. You've already seen the fighter post, meet the fighters, and
Right.
I have a list of stuff that have to be done. But sure, look, it's all worth it at the end of the day.
Brilliant, brilliant. It's a great cause.
Yeah.
Great cause. And maybe your next interview after this, maybe we'll be on the Late Late Show.
Yeah. I need to prepare for that.
Exactly. Wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for calling in. And it's a pleasure to help you a small little bit along the way.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks a million.
Thanks, Paddy.
Fine.